Dear students, this video is about the poem My Mother at 66, composed by Kamala, that explores the complex emotions that come with aging and the bond between a mother and a daughter. And in this video, I included all the points. This is about the author, Kamala. Then first point, rhyme scheme. Then central idea of the poem, summary of the poem in brief, and this is original text, poetic devices that the poet used in this poem, and these are textual questions, very important for your exam purpose. There are only selected 5 questions. So let us explain one by one. So name of the poem is My Mother at 66, and poet is Kamala, and this is the first poem in your textbook. This is about the poet. If we talk about rhyme scheme, the poem does not follow any rhyme scheme or rhythm. It has been written in free verse, that is also called blank verse. Point number 2 here, central idea of the poem. This poem is based on mother-daughter relation, and the poet shares her feelings for her mother. Aging is an important phase of human life. It highlights the fear of separation in the mind of the narrator as she is confronted with the fact that her mother is approaching old age. So, in brief, we can say that the theme of the poem is old age. Next point is summary of the poem. The poet was driving from her parents' home to the Cochin airport last Friday morning. Her mother was sitting beside her. She was 66 years old. The old lady was dozing. Dozing means sleeping, feeling sleepy. Her mouth remained open. Her face looked pale and faded. Pale means yellow in color, colorless, faded, tired. It was grey like us. It looked lifeless, like a corpse, means dead body. The lifeless and faded face of her mother pained her, means hurted her. Pained her heart means she hurted. She becomes disappointed, unhappy. The old lady seemed to be lost in her own thoughts. The poet turned away her attention from her mother and looked outside. The world outside was full of life and activity. This is use of contrast between two situations. Situation inside the car and out of the car. The young trees seemed running fast. This is use of personification. The children looked happy while moving out of their homes. When they were at airport, they had to undergo a security check. The poet was standing a few yards away from her mother. She looked again at her old mother. She felt pained means hurted to look at the colorless, lifeless, and pale face of her mother. Her face looked faded like the late winter's moon. This is use of simile, which had lost its shine and strength, and this aroused the old familiar edge. Familiar edge means childhood pain in the bird's heart. Her childhood fear overpowered her again. However, she controlled herself. She appeared to be normal, means she tried to be normal. She scattered, means spread smiles on her face while saying goodbye to her mother. She wished to see her old Amma again. So, this is all about summary of the poem. You should learn it to answer all the questions. Will we ask you one question paper? In the board examination, this summary is very important. Our next point is original test. Okay, let us explain. So, driving from her parents' home, it means poet is driving in her own car from her parents' home to Cochin, means she is going towards Cochin airport. Last Friday means it was incident of last Friday. Morning means it was morning time. And I saw her mother, means she, poet saw her mother beside me. Beside means by the side of. Beside means near me. It means her mother was sitting near her. Dodging means mother was dodging. Doge means dodging. It means feeling sleepy. Open mouthed means her mother's mouth was open. Her face ashen means appears like as, that is rock in color. And this like actually her face ashen like, that is use of simile, upma alankar, and that of a corpse means dead body, and realized with pain means poet realized or felt with pain means with hurted heart that she was as old as she looked. It means her mother was growing old. She felt so, and she became disappointed, unhappy, but soon put that thought away. It means she removed that thought from her mother. She and looked out at young trees sprinting. Means he tried to look out of the car, and there were trees moving away. So trees, young trees sprinting, that is use of personification. You should note it down. And it signifying energetic action of the youth. In the second point, the merry children means happy children spiling out. Spiling out means moving out of their homes. But after the airports, so in this way she reached at airport, and after undergoing airport's security check, standing means now the poet is standing. A few means some yards away. Yard actually is a measurement unit. I looked again at her, means second time she looked at her mother. Pen means colorless. Pale means faded, yellowish. As a means mother's face become colorless. It is because of old age. And here poet compares her mother's face with that of a late winter's moon. So this is use of simile. And felt that old familiar age. Old familiar age means childhood fear of losing her mother, fear of losing her mother. My childhood fears, but all I said was, see you soon. Means she tried to be optimistic. And my childhood fears, it means that fear of childhood returns. And that fear means that fear is of losing her mother. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. And all I did was smile and smile and smile. So this is repetition. You should note it down. Maybe ask in your question paper in the board examination. So this is repetition. Okay. Now next point is poetic devices. So the poem My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das uses a variety of poetic devices, including. So these are some poetic devices you should know. Should learn all these poetic devices. Very important for your exam purpose. First one is consonants. And consonance means the prominent sound of T in the line. Put that thought away and looked out at young. So this is the repetition of the letter T. Imagery means the description of children's playing and trees sprinting. This is imagination. Imagination of poet's mind. That is called imagery. The description of children playing and trees sprinting. Imagery. And trees sprinting is also personification. Repetition. The word looked is repeated. And the word smile, actually it should be smile. Okay, this word smile is repeated. Personification, very important. The trees are described as sprinting. Okay, trees sprinting. And sprinting means racing fast. Sprinting means moving, running fast. So this is personification. And contrast, the difference between the poet's mother and the children is shown by using the word old and young. So this is contrast. Simile, that is very important. The poet compares her mother's condition to a corpse, means dead body, and to the late winter's moon. And here repetition of word smile. The poet repeats the word smile to represent covering up fears of impending death. Impending means approaching death. So this is all about poetic devices used in the poem. Now last point, questions from test book, and all the questions are solved. Here question number 1 is, what is the kind of pain and age that the poet feels? So this is the answer of the question. When the poet sees the pale and corpse-like face of her mother, her old familiar pain of the age returns. Perhaps she has entertained this fear since her childhood. Aging is a natural process. Time and aging spare none. Time and aging have not spared the poet's mother and may not spare her as well. With this aging, separation and death become inevitable. Here this is question number 2. Why are the young trees described as sprinting? The poet is driving to the Cochin airport. When she looks outside, the young trees seems to be walking fast or running fast, sprinting past them. With the speed of the car, they seem to be running fast or sprinting. The poet presents a contrast, her dodging old mother and the sprinting young trees. Now this is question number 3. Why has the poet brought in the image of the merry children spilling out of their homes? The poet has brought in the image of merry children spilling out of their homes to present a contrast. The merry children coming out of their homes in large numbers present an image of happiness and spontaneous overflow of life. This image is in stark contrast to the dodging old mother whose ashen face looks lifeless and pale like a corpse, means dead body. She is an image of aging, decay, and passivity. Passivity means opposite of activeness. The contrast of the two images enhances means increase the poetic effect. Question number 4. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter's moon? Very important question. The poet's mother is 66 years old. A shrunken, ashen face resembles means looking like. A corpse means dead body. She has lost her shine and strength of youth. Similarly, the late winter's moon looks hazy and obscure means not clear, dim. It too lacks shine and strength. The comparison is quite natural and appropriate means suitable. The simile used here is apt means suitable as well as effective. So this is very important question for your exam. And this is last question, question number 5. What do the parting word of the poet and her smile signify? And the answer is the poet's parting words of assurance and her smiles provide a stark contrast to the old familiar age or fear of the childhood. Her words and smiles are a deliberate attempt to hide her real feelings. The parting words, "See you soon, Amma," give an assurance to the old lady whose ashen face looks like a corpse. Similarly, her continuous smiles are an attempt to overcome the age and fear inside her heart. So this was last question, and all the points are in the form of notes. Actually, they are exam notes. You should read these points again and again, and better note down all the important points. This video will definitely help you. Thank you. Thank you all, and best of luck for your bright future. Thank you.